This video, we're going to take your freshly marked and laid out pieces for your picture frame, and we are going to take these into the shop and put the routed groove on that we had in our SketchUp model. That routed groove is going to be how we get our glass and backerboard and picture in the back of the frame. So again, the lines are on the back side. Right now your name is going to be what's on the front side. So before we go back, we have to get our safety equipment, and you have to make sure you have watched this video all the way through, answered all of the questions, and you clicked submit or turn in on the video so that it counts and we know you actually watched the video. So once you've got that done, you've watched the video, you've clicked turn in, and you've got your layout checked by your teacher, you're gonna be ready to go into the shop. So first things first, have your wood. Make sure again your initials are on the ends there, and you have your first and last name and period number on the wood. First thing you gotta have before you go in the shop is our safety glasses. So when you get up, we're gonna come back to the safety glasses cabinet like we just did during class. In the cabinet, there's choices. If you do not wear glasses, you're gonna get safety glasses from one of the top 3 shelves. Those are the nice round ones. If you do wear glasses, you're gonna grab a pair from the bottom 2 shelves. These are more square. They do fit over your regular glasses. And since I'm wearing contacts today, I'm gonna wear just a regular pair of safety glasses. So I'm gonna put these on, and I'm going to gently close the cabinet so we don't get dust and everything on our freshly disinfected glasses. I'm gonna come back over here. Now, before I go into the shop, I need to make sure that my teacher has actually said it's okay to go into the shop. If it's the beginning of class, wait for your teacher to give you permission to go in. We'll go in as a group. If it's in the middle of class and the rest of the class is already going in, make sure your safety glasses are on first. Because as the Black Knight says, none shall pass without wearing safety glasses. Once those are on, you're gonna come into the shop. Please make sure you close the shop door after you got those on. Your first stop is going to be for our hearing protection. So you're gonna come down here into the sink area, and we have our ear protection cabinet. To open it, just grab the bottom corner of the door and just gently pull. And we have our hearing protection. We have our over-ear earmuffs, which we're gonna need to have to protect us from the very loud noises. You might get a pair that is missing an ear cup, or you might see one there with an empty bow. Don't just go, ew, no, I don't want that. You can actually put it back together. So if you see the slot right here and the little T-shaped lug on the ear cup, you put that in through the slot from the inside and rotate it, and hey, it's fixed. So you're gonna right away get these ready positioned, and you're gonna put these on. Once you've got them put on, you are going to close the cabinet so that, again, we don't get dust in our hearing protection. For the router, you're gonna come all the way down to the end of the shop. You're gonna first make sure there's no one else at the routers. If there's nobody there, you're good to go up first. So you're gonna set your wood here at the router. And if you recall, our safety rules are right here on the wall, so if you ever forget, they're right here. Our first step is to make sure our dust collection is set up. So to do our dust collection, on this first router that everyone's doing, you have to come over here to the gold dust collector, and you need to make sure that the top blast gate is open and that the bottom blast gate is pushed in and closed. That's gonna allow the airflow to suck the dust from the tools. And what we're gonna do is open this, turn it on. At the tool, you're going to make sure you have your push stick ready, and that's gonna be right here at the top on the edge of the table. You're gonna take your piece of wood, and it is going to have your first and last name and period number, and that 2 router side. Make sure you can see those. That's gonna go here against the fence. There is a red line right here. That red line is where you're gonna stop the wood before you start the machine. As you prepare, you're gonna have your left hand pushing here right in front of this feather board. You're gonna push back against the fence. You're gonna have the push stick in your right hand at the handle. You're gonna start by pushing it with your fingers, and once it gets onto the table, then you'll use the push stick. So once you have that in place, you're gonna take the switch here and turn it on. Good, push back with your left hand. We're gonna push forward with your right hand on the end till it goes through. Once it's on the table, the left hand pushes down and back against the fence to make sure it is there. Right hand pushes back on the stick and through. When you get to here, just drop the push stick, bring your right hand over here to push down and back, and pull it out with your left hand. So that first pass, cut the groove. Second pass is gonna clean it up. So again, put it against the fence, push stick in your hand. We're gonna go through. This is gonna go a lot faster now. So push it through, keep that pressure back. Left hand pushes back, right hand pushes in the corner. Bring it through, drop the stick, pull it out there. There's our first piece. You can see that little burn because I left it there too long while I was giving the description. The next piece is gonna go a lot faster. So we got our first piece cut. Same thing, our second piece. You should not see these lines when you're routing. You should flip it over. See your first name, last name, period number, and to router. Set it up. Left hand here, right hand here. Again, holding the handle, pushing by the fingers, bringing it through. Left hand back, right hand pushing with the stick. Drop the stick, bring your right hand over to hold it back. One again, second pass. Okay, that came through. Be careful not to launch that. I missed it because my hand slipped off. I shut the router off, and I'm waiting for that bit to stop. It is still spinning. There, it finally stopped. If you're by yourself, you can come over and shut off the dust collection. If there's a line of people behind you, just leave it on. So now that that router has stopped, come to a complete stop, as we know from our rules, the last step is to clean up. So for cleanup, we're gonna have our pull stick down. Dustpan for this #1 router is right here on the wall. The biggest thing is we need to get this top cleaned off, especially in along the fence. So I'm gonna start over here on this right side and pull that dust off the table. Don't worry so much about what's on the featherboard here. Get the big stuff off. What I'm gonna do for this then is I'm gonna clean this groove out by the fence. So I'm gonna take my brush and bring it all the way through where the bit is and make sure all the bits in there are gone, all the gross pieces are out of there, so it's clean. Once I've got that, then I need to get the rest of the little chunks and pieces that came off around it. So I'm just gonna do a quick little sweep here, a little bit of a sweep up around the front, and the majority of it is gonna be down here. You see this path of dust. So we're just gonna stick that at the edge of the table and sweep that in via garbage can right here. Tap that in. To put this in, you're gonna put the bristles in the pan, line up the hole here, and then you're just gonna push it in and click it, and that goes back onto the hook. So if you only wanna have a square frame, square face frame, when you're doing the routing, that's where you would stop. I'm also gonna show you the optional round over, which on the face puts a curved round here, okay? Again, you don't have to do that. It's completely optional, but I'm gonna show that to you now, and you're gonna watch that through the end of the video. So to do the round over, you clean up your first router, you come over to this router. You have the same basic machine setup. The difference is the dust collection is underneath on its own separate thing. So when you turn on the router, the dust collection turns on too. So the process is the same as far as how you hold it, how you move it. For the most part, the only big difference is we do it upside down now. So when you do the round over, it's on the good side. So now we need to see your lines. So the process is we're gonna do 2 passes like before, and we're gonna rotate it around and do 2 passes again. The key on this is we actually hold it down while we're doing it to keep it from going up on the bit. So this one again, I turned it on, the dust collection's coming on first on its own. So I let it get up to speed, and then I push it through. It's gonna go a lot faster because it's taking off less material. 1 pass, 2 pass. I got that round over done, so I'm gonna flip it around this way. 1 pass, 2 pass. Again, stick on top, holding it down. That piece is done. I've got the round over on both edges. And I'll do the other piece here real quick. So put it through, use my push stick, keeping even pressure on the back. There's 1 pass. There's 2 passes. Again, keep downward pressure. I spin it around, not flip, I spin it. Get it on there. Keep my downward pressure, 1 pass. 2 passes. I've got both pieces done now with the round over on both face edges. Sometimes you might get a little ridge on there from the bit biting in. Got a little bit here I'm gonna have to sand, but that's okay. I've got both of my pieces done this way. Again, you will have the broom that you're gonna use to clean this up. I forgot to bring the broom back over. And the brush broke. Fun. All right. Broken brush aside, we'll make sure you have a new one here with the full handle. Same process. Sometimes it does get clogged up in the dust collection, so you saw some of that shoot out. We'll make sure that is working properly when we do this, so it's not a big issue. Same process though. Get in here, clean out. It's gonna be a little trickier to clean out along the router bit because I have this second feather board here to keep it down. So we'll do what we can to get those out of there. Normally it doesn't throw off as much debris, but we'll get that as clean as we can. If all else fails, I'll vacuum it out later. Get that, get the countertop here. And then again, dustpan. Normally that would sit right there. We'll get a better one. So that is the basic process of routing. So you should have your groove here on both pieces, your rabbet groove. If you choose to do the round over, it should have that rounded edge. It is completely optional. You do not have to actually do the round over. It's a style choice only. It actually adds a little bit of careful sanding that you have to do, and it potentially leads to bad fitment on your corners if you don't get it cut and sanded right. So it is a little trickier, adds a little technical piece with the curves. Again, it is a style choice only. You do not have to do the round over. Once you've got your routing done and you're cleaned up, we're gonna go back into the classroom here for the next step. So first, we gotta put our hearing protection away, which it's gonna stay on until we get over to the cabinet. So again, grab the bottom corner of the door, open it up, put your hearing protection into the shelf, right on the shelf there. Close it, make sure it sticks closed. Grab your wood, do not forget the wood. You'd be amazed at how many people forget the wood. You're gonna come back into the classroom again. Your safety glasses are still on. You're gonna open the door, close the door gently. Now you can take your safety glasses off, fold them up, hold them by the bows, and you're gonna put them on the correct spot. So again, if you have non-glasses wearer, so if you do not wear glasses, you're gonna put them on the shelf. Preferably, you put them so they're facing front to back so it's easier to grab them and find them, okay? Once you've got that, Close it. You're gonna take your wood, come back to your spot, and then you can actually store that diagonally in your tub at an angle like so to make sure that you are keeping that safe while we store it. Then after you have that done, we are going to watch the next step in the video, which will be cutting using the bandsaws. Good job. Watch the next step before you can do the cutting in the shop.